Hey, welcome back. We are talking about some super convenient makeup today for my super convenient viewers, which I feel like is probably 98% of you all. That is what a lot of my content focuses around. I wanted to touch on obviously some things that I mention quite frequently for those of you who might be new, but also some things that I think a lot of you all will be surprised to hear me talk about because it may be something that I just don't get around to using often in videos, but I still consider to be a good, convenient product. So I'm going to break down some of my favorites for you all. If you are someone who travels a lot, if you're someone that's on the go and you need products that you can easily touch up with, products that are quick for application, this is going to be the video for you. Starting out, I want to revisit a brand I spoke briefly of a few months ago, and I really enjoyed their concept. It was actually introduced to me by one of you all on Instagram. You sent me their Instagram page, and it was definitely something that was kind of up my alley. So I ordered their products and did a little review, and the company was Subtle Beauty. So their concept is basically makeup stacks. You buy little stacks of makeup and you create your own custom stack. Very portable, very travel friendly. You can get powder, highlighter, bronzer, a lip and cheek combo, and then concealer. And my biggest critique with them at the time was that they had a very poor shade selection. I think it was 5 to 6 shades maybe. It was just a pretty generic coloring system. They must have had a shade expansion already in the works because just a few days ago, they released a huge shade expansion. And I think the shade range in this concealer family is awesome now. There's 6 shades in 3 different categories. And the coloring seems to go from pretty fair to pretty deep and rich. The deepest color really looked like a nice rich shade, which I think is hard to find even in some popular mainstream brands. But overall, I think this is such a wonderful product for travel. If you're someone that flies, if you're someone who has to commute, great product just keep in your purse. The only product within the stack that for me I just wasn't blown away with was the highlighter. It's just kind of like your standard powder highlighter. I didn't find it to really be something that I would go back and revisit, but as far as everything else, really enjoyed this, and I'm excited to see even bigger expansion within like the lip and cheek range, within even the highlighter range. I would love to see a cream highlighter out of this company. So Subtle Beauty, very interesting and very convenient. This next product is a concealer, and the reason I want to talk about this formula in particular is because I think it was truly meant to be used for touch-ups and for reapplication, and that's the Glossier Stretch Concealer. This is such a emollient formula, and it's not so pigmented that by the end of the day it creases and it cakes and it's visible on the skin, and for that reason I really think it's worth mentioning. It is more on the light coverage side. You don't get a ton of coverage out of this product. So if you are someone who needs a lot of coverage and you find that you would prefer to really not even touch up your makeup throughout the day, then this probably isn't going to be for you. But if you're someone who, you go to the bathroom and you find that you might need to touch up underneath the eyes, dark circles are coming through, this is something that can definitely give you that pepped up, refreshed type of look without looking cakey by the end of the day. Katie Jane Hughes uses this as her foundation for most of her tutorials, and for a good reason. It really is something that can be manipulated and worked with easily throughout the day. Very easy to apply. Apply with your finger, apply with a brush, however you want. It's kind of a preference thing, but it will apply really nicely with just a few pats into the skin. So I really do enjoy this formula. I think it's very convenient for that reason. You can use it as a foundation and as a concealer, as a touch-up product, and it doesn't look crepey. It doesn't look dry on the skin. It has a very nice elasticity to it. Let's go ahead and knock some stick makeup products out of the way because, as most of you know, I live and die by a good stick makeup product. Probably 80% of my daily routine is just full on cream or stick makeup formulas. And we'll just start with the most obvious and my most used stick or cream makeup product. That's the Milk Makeup bronzer. And this is, if you watch my channel, then you know this is the it product for me. It is, dare I say, probably one of my just most used makeup products ever. But I did want to mention some similar options and also some counterparts, some sister products, if you will, to the Milk Makeup bronzer stick. The first is probably the closest option you can find at the drugstore, and it's the Physicians Formula Sculpting Bronzer. A recent dupe find for me, and it is so very similar to the Milk Makeup one. I would say it's a little bit warmer just by a touch, but also I wanted to mention that price-wise, it's kind of a better value to just kind of save up and get the Milk Makeup one. You get 28 grams of product with the Milk Makeup, and you only get 8.8 grams of product with the Physicians Formula. And if I remember correctly, this was about $15, I want to say, at my Walmart, which is where I got mine. The Milk Makeup one, I think, is $24. Ultimately, I've had this for probably over a year now, and I still have quite a bit of product to use up. I use it almost every single day. So I definitely think this is worth the money as far as the amount of product that you get. Another option I like to use for a drugstore stick contour is the L'Oreal Infallible Shapewear Foundation Stick in the shade Tan. Now this is for my particular skin tone. If you're darker, obviously you want to go deeper. If you're lighter, you might want to go a shade or two down from this, but the shade Tan, really like this. The reason I like using foundation sticks for contour or bronzing is because they actually have pigment in them, and they give you a little bit of extra coverage on your face. So if you're someone that wants a little bit of extra coverage, maybe you use more of a medium full coverage foundation, using a darker foundation stick for your contour is just a really convenient way to get that nice kind of shapely look without having to go in and apply like a powder contour, a powder bronzer on top. I pretty much just use one of these guys for my bronzing contour duo, however you want to say it. And I'm done. Like, I'm done for the day. I have the L'Oreal one on today, and looks great. Going back to concealers, I want to talk about this one really quickly. It's a stick concealer formula. Stick concealers don't get the love that they deserve. I don't have one of my all-time favorites here because I just ran out of it. I have to repurchase it. But my all-time favorite stick concealer is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Stick Concealer. That is just like a ride or die, awesome concealer, just complexion product all around. Sometimes I use it as my foundation. I don't have it to talk about again because I just ran out of it, but I will list it down below. Would 10 out of 10 recommend. It's medium full coverage, and has a nice satiny finish on the skin, and looks great as just like a standalone foundation as well. But this is a newer one. It's been out for probably the latter part of the year, I would say, and it's the MAC Studio Fix Perfecting Stick Concealer, which I've talked about in a couple of videos already, but man, it's a convenient one. It's so easy to apply. It's one of those, again, like Glossier, that you can touch up with throughout the day, and it doesn't look crepey. It doesn't look thick on the skin. It has a very unique, lightweight, velvety formula to it, but in a way that just sits so perfectly polished on the skin. So easy, convenient to take with you, to touch up with. If you feel like the Glossier concealer is too light of coverage and maybe a little bit too emollient, this would be the one that you want to go for instead. If you're combo oily, feel like, you need something that's more velvety, this is a great option. So instead of going on about my caviar sticks, because I'm a broken record at this point, I can't talk about them any more than what I do. I'm just gonna list down below my must-have shades, like my shades that are just fail-proof, that look amazing no matter what, and that are quick, and that you can basically just complete an entire eye look with. So I'm gonna leave it at that because we all know the obsession and just the overusage for me with the caviar sticks. This is a fun little guy I've had in my collection for a while, and I've rediscovered it. It's definitely similar to the caviar stick, but it's got just like a cool funky vibe to it. It comes in some interesting colors, and it's the Prismatic multi-stick, the Bite Beauty Prismatic multi-stick. I have the shade called Oyster Pearl, which I'm wearing on my eyes. I don't know if you can see from this far back. It's a very kind of, I don't know, it's got this like cool, you know, like outer space, like vibe to it, but in a very sheer way. And I think you can get these in like 5 or 6 colors. Would definitely recommend the Oyster Pearl one. I think it's one of the most neutral out of the shades available. But if you're someone who kind of likes a fun, you know, like that glossy eye look, the glossy lid look, but something that's going to last a little bit longer than just literally putting a straight eye gloss on, this is a really cool one to look into. You literally just throw it on, blend it out, and you kind of have that fun glass eye look. You know what I'm saying? Easy to apply. I mean, it's literally called multi-stick. You can use it in multiple ways, but that's how I like to use it. NudeStix, Nudies Tinted Blur Stick. This is for those of you who definitely aren't huge complexion people. Like if you're someone who really hates wearing foundation, but you know, maybe you feel like you have to wear it for work, or it's just something that makes you feel like gives you a little boost of confidence when you apply it. This is something to look into because it does give a nice like mattifying blur to the skin. So easy to apply. Like it doesn't get any easier than this. Actually the formula is very similar to they even look the same packaging wise. The formula is very similar to the matte concealer. Matte concealer has way more coverage to it though. But this is, like the name says, it gives your skin a tint of color and it blurs, you know, it blurs the pores. It's almost like a tinted primer on the skin. I think it's awesome. Some people don't see the benefit in paying the money for it when it doesn't offer a ton of coverage. That's why I'm exclusively saying if you're someone who just likes a hint, just a hint, this is the baby for you. Okay, I know this is a little all over the place since I didn't really categorize these based on like individual products, but I want to take it back to another complexion product that you can find at the drugstore. I think it's so easy to apply, and it's also one that you don't have to worry about. It's like a set it and forget it. Like you put it on and it just sits so well on the skin. It's the Neutrogena Hydroboost. Hydrating skin tint. This formula is like one of the most innovative drugstore formulas in my opinion. It's like a gel when you put it on, and it gives your skin the most perfect amount of coverage. Like not too much, not too little. It's just that great in between. It looks healthy. It's just, I love the formula of it. I love that it has this really unique gel formula. And if I'm going to be traveling and I have to like do my makeup in the car, you know when you do your makeup in the car and you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, it's not looking hot. That's why I travel with this, because even when I put it on and I have the mirror glaring back right at me, the full-on sun glaring back at me, this still looks good. Color range sucks, unfortunately. I wish Neutrogena would do something about that. Until then, I guess gotta work with it. But absolutely love this formula. Innovative, great drugstore formula. Easy to apply. Rub it in with your fingers, set it with a little bit of powder, and you're done. Let's talk about these really quick. These have stolen my heart very quickly over the past couple of months now, and they are the Laneige Lip Glowy Balms. As if I could own any more lip balms. I mean, truthfully, that is my weakness. I see a lip balm out. I mean, it could literally be from the most basic brand. Lipsil is one of my all-time favorite chapsticks, and I have like a million laying around my house, but I fear that they'll discontinue it or that it'll run out, and I see it at the store and I buy 2 or 3 of them. You know what I mean? I'm just a fiend for a good lip balm, and especially lip balms that for some reason are made by skincare brands. I just love that. I love my fresh coconut lip balm. I reserved this for my makeup desk only. But the Laneige ones are awesome. They are this gorgeous lip gloss, lip balm, almost like a lip jelly, I guess, when they come out. But they feel so good, so hydrating. They don't dry out my lips, and they offer color to your lips. Now, they do make a clear one if you're not into color. But I'm wearing the berry one today with a little bit of the Subtle Beauty lip and cheek. And I just love these. I keep the grapefruit one in my car. I have these 2 on my desk right now. I'm kind of revolving those around, and the clear one is in my purse. So I just can't say enough good things about these. I think that they feel so good. They're so easy to reapply. It's one of those products that after you've ate, you can just literally, without a mirror, throw it back on. Your lips have a little bit of color, a lot of shine, and it's like putting a chapstick on. I mean, it feels so moisturizing and hydrating on the skin. I feel like Laneige right now are kind of like the lip queens of the makeup world, since people have discovered their lip sleep mask. But these are really good. Sephora has holiday value sets where you can get 3, I think it's 3 in a set, and I would definitely recommend. There's also a couple where you can get the sleeping mask and a lip balm in a set. I'll link them down below. All right, so I think that is everything I wanted to mention. Let me know what some of your favorite convenient makeup brands are, or convenient products you've tried from other brands. I'm always on the hunt. If it looks easy, if it looks like it's gonna lay nicely on the skin, I'm all about it. So let me know your favorites down below. I hope you found this helpful. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.